Welcome back to Indiana Farm and Country, and joining me now is Craig Carlock. And Craig is with Precision Tank and Equipment. And Craig, tell us a little bit about your company.
Precision was formed in 1965 in mid-state Illinois, Virginia, Illinois, small town outside of Springfield. We started out building mild steel tanks. A little bit later on, we went to stainless steel tanks. And then in 2010, we built our first fiberglass plant in Ligonier, Indiana.
Let's talk about the process that you go through from start to finish in creating these types of tanks and what they're primarily used for.
The fiberglass tanks, our newest venture, is the hot item right now as far as the ag market goes. We have a winding process. We use a Ligonier, and it's basically, it starts out, we have a 12-foot mandrel, and we put a veil on it. It wraps the veil around the mandrel. Then we have a chop system that goes on, chop fiberglass. Then we do a helical wind, Dan. And it's a crisscross winding pattern that makes for a very, very sound and very solid tank.
You know, we're talking about our farmer patrons and businesses out there that have to meet certain stringent EPA requirements. You guys go the extra mile to make sure that the products that you produce not only meet those standards, but probably go beyond that.
Absolutely, and also one of the big things that we have to look at when you're looking at fiberglass and poly tanks and like that is UV protection. Right. And that's a very important factor. And at Precision with our fiberglass tanks, we put a UV coating, a gel coat on the outside that's UV protectant. And it actually does a really good job of keeping that resin and everything intact so we don't have any complications with the tank as far as strong sunlight over the course of the time.
Well, not only sunlight, but obviously your tanks have to endure not only the cold winter days of the Midwest, but all the hot weather of the summertime. So meeting those kind of differences as far as the weather is concerned means that your tanks are ready for the elements, right?
Absolutely. I mean, everything at the Ligonier plant is state-of-the-art equipment. Everything is the newest technology. And we're very, very pleased with the fact that the product we're putting out in the field is the right product for today's agricultural use.
You know, Craig, I know that there's a lot of farmers out there that are growing as their businesses continue to grow, or if they continue to merge, or new businesses that are out there. And sometimes people like some expediency when it comes to getting their supplies. What kind of time frame are we talking about from start to finish to be able to get that product out to your consumers?
It varies from different times of the year. A lot of times when we'll get busy towards the end of summertime, and what we're kind of seeing is a lot of there's some products, some good pricing on product in the fall of the year. So a lot of times the tank buyer will take a hard look at things during the summer months, start to purchase during the end of the summer, and our lead times will stretch out more actually than we like to see. We like to keep lead times if we can in a 4 to 6 week range. When we get real busy, sometimes we'll get out farther than that. We'll get out 12 weeks or whatever. Now we're trying to do a few things to curb that. We've got the Ligonier fiberglass plant now. We also build stainless steel tanks at Ligonier. We're in the process also right now of building a new plant in Iowa, in Humboldt, Iowa. So if we could take some heat off the Ligonier plant, fiberglass-wise, we should get our lead times a little bit better under control in Indiana.
So again, let's talk about the products specifically. What different sizes are we talking about, and the different uses for those particular products?
In mild steel tanks that we actually build in Virginia, Illinois, we've got a wider range than we actually do in fiberglass storage tanks. We'll go down to 5,000-6,000 gallons on a mild steel tank, all the way up to 30,000 gallon, and could even build a 41,000 gallon in a mild steel tank. As far as fiberglass tanks go on vertical storage, we're limited. We run 12-foot mandrels on the tanks, Dan, so we're looking at, from about 12,000 gallons up to 30,000 gallons, in basically in 5,000 gallon increments.
And for our non-farm patrons that are out there, what are the tanks normally used for?
UAN 2832 10340.
And then basically when you're talking about the different types of uses, and we talk about also how they're used. One of the things that I'm sure that because of the strength and the quality of the product, you guys are environmentally conscious. You make sure that not only in the process of producing those products, how they're used, is good friends to the environment.
Absolutely, and we offer different type of resins for the tanks to make sure that the customer is storing the right product in the right tank. For a little bit more corrosive products, our standard tank we use what we call an isophthalic resin, and it's good for 28, 32, 1034O. If you get to a more corrosive type product like ATS, ammonium thiosulfate, then we can upgrade you to a vinyl ester resin, which will handle the more corrosive type of products.
If people want more information or they want to come over and view the facility, do they have the opportunity to come and check out the operation or meet with you and maybe even talk about seeing the process from start to finish?
Oh, absolutely. We welcome that. I mean, we have a nice plant. We're somewhat proud of it, and we enjoy taking customers through it and prospects through it. And I'd be more than glad to give anyone a personal tour that'd like to go on a tour.
What was the reason for creating the Ligonier plant? I'm sure the demand was there, but what was some of the reasons why you guys created the Ligonier facility?
Well, we felt there was a real need for fiberglass tanks in the Midwest here. Fiberglass tanks, over the years, people have always enjoyed the idea of using a fiberglass tank because so many of the fiberglass tank manufacturers were located out west, like Garden City, Kansas, out in South Dakota. So we felt that there was a real need for a fiberglass tank plant right here in the middle of the Corn Belt, and by putting it in Ligonier, Indiana, it was kind of twofold. It was a good location as far as servicing like Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio, and at the same time, it's just a good match for the fiberglass industry. I mean, in northern Indiana, that's the king of fiberglass is what it is. I mean, there's a lot of RV places, and so luckily we got hold of a lot of really good fiberglass people when we initially hired the staff at Ligonier.
So we're talking about a quality product, a product that can be made to meet your needs and your specifications, and of course, affordable product, right, Craig?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, from the longevity standpoint, I think in this day and age, when you put a pencil to the longevity of mild steel tank as compared to a fiberglass tank, I think you'll automatically see that the fiberglass tank is going to weigh out very well.
Very good. And if people want more information, Craig, where do they go?
They could call Precision Tank and Equipment at our Virginia office, 217-452-7228. My personal number is 317-796-1104. They can always go to www.precisiontank.com.
Once again, Craig Carlock has been our guest from Precision Tank and Equipment. Craig, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Dan.
We'll be back with more Indiana Farm and Country right after this.